Hello everybody, I'm back with another video for you today, and this one's a pretty special deck. I was messing around with Syndicate a little bit and Dijkstra, the new leader, to see how good he was. Turns out he's very, very good. I managed to climb pretty much exclusively with this deck from about rank 5, rank 4 to pro ladder, so that was in just one day pretty much. Definitely a powerful deck, very high win rate, and was able to crush both Foltest, Ardell, basically everything. Some close games, but really quite a competent deck. So what is the theme of this deck? What is it doing? Well, it's pretty unique. It runs this kind of combo, which I've deemed to be worthy of the name Shopping with Siggy, I guess. The theme of the deck, that is. And that's because you're running townsfolk. You know, they're shopping, they're having a good time, buying stuff and whatnot. You're running these guys, which boost whenever you gain coins, along with, of course, your leader, who is able to gain a lot of coins and then spend them one at a time, which boosts those townsfolk up very quickly and gets them a lot of points. And of course, you gain charges on this guy whenever you play a crime. So basically, you're playing a lot of crimes, you're charging up your leader, and later in the game, you're slamming down townsfolk. You are playing your leader and getting value on those guys, and then you're also using Igor the Hook to actually copy the townsfolk and spawn just a bunch of them on the board, have a whole board full of shopping people, and just go crazy with your leader and with other gold gaining tools from crimes and stuff like that to really gain a ton of points proactively. Can be a little bit tricky if you run into removal, but that's really the trick with this deck, is playing around the potential removals your opponents have. You can play around that a little bit by, using a leader charge here or there to boost your townsfolk up. You can maybe play Igor, who's a bit safer, 6 strength, although maybe you risk him getting damaged and not being able to use his insanity ability. But yeah, there's some really interesting decision making, and the deck has a lot of strong tools that actually allow you to get to the round 3 where you can use Igor on the townsfolk, or even on cut-up lackeys, which this deck does run. I'll try to leave the deck actually on playgwent.com in the description of this video. I haven't been doing that for decks, but for this one I will, so if you want the deck, it's down there. But okay, what else do we have? Pretty much, yeah, Portal with the lackeys is a really nice combo. You're able to control the board a little bit and presents a couple of threats for the opponent to deal with that can then, save your townsfolk later on from removal and whatnot. And of course, they just go very well with crimes. Why wouldn't they? We have a lot of spenders in the executioners, the Ewald, and also, of course, Philippa, and you can count Igor as a spender as well, as you're able to copy stuff, of course. Ewald without his brother, I think it's probably fine, I don't know. They kind of got nerfed a bit, but the damage output from Ewald is really important. You can transfer the coins into damage, and that's just really good for controlling everything, right? So I find that pretty good. The deck does have a lot of bricks, and this is one of the harder things about it. You're running Sewer Raiders, you're running only 2 portal targets, you're running Redanian, as well as 1 Cleaver's Muscle for the Novigradian Justice. So you need to manage those bricks very, effectively with your mulligans, and also you have double Eavesdrop to really help in that regard as well. I find this card very, very strong, especially with the buff that it got with the patch. And yeah, we also have Sir Skewertooth for a bit of crime synergy. Congregation's there to make sure your Siggy Roven is getting the full value with the Prophet ability. Novigradian Justice, just a good crime, 10 points. What more could you want? And a bit of thinning as well. So I've been finding this deck very consistent. It has a lot of thinning in it. You're able to use Eavesdrop as quasi-thinning as well, and really get to your combo, which can get you upwards of 100 points in games. I've been having some pretty crazy games today, and even 30-point Scorches, Ignis. Who cares? You're shopping, you're happy, and it's a very fun time indeed. Very strong as well. So basically, that's the premise of the deck. Let's jump into a couple of games and see how it plays. Alright, we're going to be up against a Cleaver. First game should be pretty interesting. I haven't seen Cleavers on the climb. It's been mostly Foltest, a fair amount of Syndicate, and a couple of Squirtels here and there as well. But okay, mulligans. So, cut up Blackie, one of those bricks, one of those portal targets we want to get rid of. Same with Sewer Raiders, we get rid of that first. And then the lackeys should be good. We're on red coins, that's pretty nice for us. We can just play for kind of carry over with our, coin generation and whatnot if we want to. And we do have in hand the Igor, which is very important for that finisher, as well as some spenders, which we can use to, to get some points should we need to. So we don't have any Intimidate kind of synergy apart from Siggy, so I think I'll just start with him. Otherwise, you might want to start with like the Boar and then gain the 9 threshold of gold using, Swindle, Dip, or Eavesdrop or whatever. But here, I think we can just go with the Siggy immediately. get the Flying Redanian out of the deck and put some pressure on. We can then maybe spend money with the Executioner this round if we want to, and play Sewer Raiders. Okay, Philippa comes down. That's definitely something we want to get rid of, and I mean we want to take it back rather, I should say. So we're going to do that. Effectively acts as carryover, right? Both denying them some and giving ourselves some. Obviously it's a good play from them to try to take it, but we have the answer. And then there's a muzzle. Okay, I guess we can't deal with that one, unfortunately. So, gonna have to live without our boat, unfortunately. Let's go with Sewer Raiders now then. I suppose we could try to get ahead if we care about that, but I don't think we are able to really care about winning on even right now. We're gonna have some lower tempo plays later in the round with dip and whatnot, so got to keep that in mind. We can go for something like a Slander and maybe Executioner, but it looks like we're actually going to win the round. That's pretty nice. So we can take it with the dip. We could also take it with Swindle, which might even be better. We do have Intimidate on Reuven, so... on Reuven. I don't know how to pronounce his name ever. But yeah, Swindle looks good. We'll just go up to the... maybe dip is better because Swindle's more proactive. I don't know. Either way, we'll take the win. We are down a bunch of carryover because they have double Redanian now probably, so that's a little bit worrying, but we'll see what we can do. We have got rid of some of their removal, so they won't be able to maybe steal Igor or Townsfolk now. That could be quite nice. I quite like this hand. We'll probably get rid of one dip, although they're not bad with the lackeys if we're keeping them this round or next round. So maybe an Executioner is more, kickable here. I think the rest of the hand's okay for now. We'll keep it. And we can probably do some thinning with the portals and whatnot. I want to put on a bit of pressure maybe this round. We could also just pass and kind of rely on the long round of the portal shenanigans. I mean, quite often what you want to do in this sort of a situation is just carry over some coins and then, and then go to round 3. So maybe we do that instead. Go with Eavesdrop, put that at the bottom. We don't want it for the portal. And then maybe we can just pass. Or play a card if, if we would like to do that. Sea Jackal going to be the play. Okay, not really too committed. Let's just take the pass. He can obviously play carryover if he wants with coins, but I'm not going to actually do that, interestingly. So I have to see what the cleaver means. It might be Intimidate shenanigans, it might be Shoop, I guess. It could be all manner of things. We have an extra mulligan as well, which is quite nice. Double Townsfolk, we're probably fine to keep. The dips are also alright because we can get a lot of crime synergy with this hand. I mean, yeah, I'm probably fine with this hand, to be honest. We could try and look for the Novigradian Justice, but kind of unlikely we're going to get it, so I'm pretty fine with just keeping everything, really. It's not going to improve too much, the hand that we have. We can make an immune Skewer Tooth, which is really cool, with the money that we have, so may very well go for that as our opening play. I'm a little bit afraid of sort of walking into something that could kill it, but I don't think there's anything out there right now. It might be better to even not pay the tribute, just because then they're wasting removal on this, right? I kind of like that idea. And we don't need to get to 0 coins because we don't have Siggy in hand. So I think actually this is the better way to do things. We can gain a lot of money, with 4 as our threshold, maybe. As well. Okay, Slander's a bit painful. Slander is a bit painful. I guess that'll be dying very soon. If we play Portal, we're going to give, like, Ewald a ton of targets, so maybe we should just go ahead and not do that. I guess there's not really any other plays we can make here, particularly. We don't have a Swindle to, to do a play like that. So maybe Portal is the play. It's going to get kind of cleaned up quite nastily, though, so I think I'm going to go with the Townsfolk, actually. What do you think, dearest? And it'll die, but at least, we're going to get the Ewald, and then we'll be able to kill their Ewald ourselves, with our own one. Can maybe delay a little bit with a dip or something, and then kill it the turn after. Or a Slander, maybe. Presuming they have a Ewald, it might even be Witch Hunter or something else. Witch Hunter Executioner, I should say. There's always a pretty interesting dynamic going on between, removing the opponent's fee cards and you playing your own and whatnot. Okay, going to be a roll decree. And it is Ewald, so we maybe wanna dip that. Maybe we don't. Oh, he's actually not going to kill the Skewer Tooth. That's pretty wild. Didn't expect that. But I guess the townsfolk is more threatening, to be honest. Wait, it's from leader. Never mind, he can do both, right? He can, in fact, do both. The problem is he was not able to use this Caleb. This Caleb proc, so we're kind of going to be able to deny the leader value here quite nicely. I guess we want to go with our Yule now and really clean this up. We could even slander the Caleb. I kind of like that idea. You know, just make sure that we really clean everything up here in a nice fashion and don't put any targets on the board for him to mess with just yet. It does mean we miss out on a bit of, you know, cut up value potentially, but we don't want to use too many leader charges before we do our townsfolk stuff, otherwise we'll lose value, obviously. Alright, going to be a blacksmith, and he's actually not boosting the Menga that much. It's going to be reasonably hard to kill, both of these. We might even have to go with kind of dip, you know, earlier dips or something. So we can... This is interesting, because, yeah, I mean, we want to save leader charges for townsfolk, but if we do that, we're kind of giving them a board that's pretty threatening. So I think it might just be better to sort of kill the Caleb, and maybe leave the Uald alive. Let's see, I think we definitely play Borsodi here. I guess we could also dip, but let's just go for this and see how much damage we have. Can't really be bothered to calculate it. This should be enough to deal a reasonable amount of damage. I think we can actually just kill both of these, right? It's quite expensive, but not really that. It's not too bad. Still have a fair amount of leader charges left. Animations are kind of slow, so we've got to go fast. Alright, so we've dealt with begging in the sewers like a beast, and Caleb is down as well, so looking to be in a pretty decent spot. There's more removal gone as well, really nice. So now we can portal, and hopefully these boys will survive, the clowns, and give us some extra value on our dips. If not, then not really the end of the world. God, I really love how this deck plays. You've really got to think about a lot of stuff with Syndicate as a faction in general, and this really exacerbates that, I think. But okay, double Redanian is scary. We did mention that from earlier, right? I guess we're just going to hit the Mariels, or Siggy probably is better to kill with this dip. Is there any reason not to? Probably not. I mean, we could play the townsfolk combo and stuff first, but I'd rather guarantee the lackey value. And sometimes, I mean, it might even be worth, you know, copying lackeys. Probably not in this situation, I'd say. So it looks like the lackey's going to die now, which means we probably want to take more dip value before it disappears. Let's go for that. Unfortunately, we hit the Redanian too many times, so that's going to deny us some value, but whatever. It's really going to come down to whether we get this lovely combo off with of course, Igor and the townsfolk. I think we probably are in a good spot to do that. There shouldn't really be much damage left, if any, that I can think of. They are very far ahead in points though, but hopefully we can turn that around. We'll see. It's going to be a pretty damn close one. So let's just play townsfolk. I don't think we need to do anything with it. I don't think they should have 4 damage at this point. It's pretty damn unlikely. They've used kind of all the possible removal, right? So we're going to try to just min-max as much as possible with the amount of money, you know, amount of money that we are able to spend and the points that we're going to generate. We're pretty far behind. Let's see if we can make the difference, but hopefully this will show off the power of this combo a little bit, or a lot. We'll see. Bleeding is coming. Alright, so Igor down. We're a little bit scared of like a witch hunter or something that will allow the... won't really allow the executioner to do too much, actually. There's not really too much to worry about. So probably in that line of thought we only need to use one of our leader charges here. And then that will keep this safe from like a slander or something. And I think this is how we maximize points as much as possible. There's just going to be a tunnel drill, that's not really doing anything. So now we can just wombo combo, and we're going to do exactly that. So first we use the insanity ability here, of course. And okay, I mean, he knows it's over. Unfortunately, I don't get to show you the power. He's just going to tap out there. Fair enough. Alright, let's jump into another game and see if we can do that again. And next up, going to be Francesca. Definitely a pretty scary leader if left unchecked with all the dwarves and stuff. So we'll have to keep that in mind. I think we have a stronger long round as long as our combo survives though. Alright, Flying Redanian, that's a brick. Get rid of it. And the rest of the hand's okay. I could get rid of something like Dip, but you know, I suppose it's fine with our lackeys that are going to come out from the portal. So let's hold on to this. We do have a lot of crimes, which is nice to supercharge the leader for later, I suppose. That's one thing we didn't do too much of last game, playing early crimes. Which maybe not ideal, but...
Oh, you've done it now.
Just going to be some muscle coming down. Alright, so we could just open with Portal, I think. And then we'll go Congregation. I always call this one Excommunication for some reason. I mean, I know there's another card similar to it in art. Called that, but yeah. Let's get those boys down and we can play around the, I can't remember the name of it, the one that, the Blue Mountain Elite maybe? Squirtle card that damages one guy on his own on a row, and play around that one. Looks like the lackeys are going to live, which actually gives us really good pushing power in this round. We can potentially maybe even win on even. So let's go with Dip, kill the Cleaver's Muscle I guess. Keep shooting with our boys, and yeah, looking really good. The cool thing you can do with Slander when you have lackeys on the board is sometimes if you slander a unit that's maybe on its own, 4 strength, your lackeys can immediately kill it, and you can get the slander value immediately. That's a pretty cool little combo you can sometimes pull off, worth noting. Okay, that's a pretty damn big defender. I think we want to slander that because we're going to then be able to, you know, get a lot of value from our Executioner, maybe killing it. One problem is it's a bit low tempo, so I think we're going to open, you know, we're going to do this first to get some points on the board and make sure we're really pushing that win on even. And then we can go with the Slander into maybe Witch Hunter Executioner or something. Or maybe not. It's like quite high health, it's going to be hard to damage. Down all the way, maybe we allow it to live. You know, they can have their engine, we have our two guys shooting every turn, so it's kind of only fair. And looks like we're just going to take a pretty chill win on even there. So now we're flexible to both push or just pass, but we probably want to try to get a card here at the very least in round 2. If not, you know, get their win conditions from them and all that. So, alright, I don't think we need double townsfolk, probably. We could get rid of one of them. We could keep them, but we shouldn't really need 2 here. And the same with the swindles. It's maybe a bit overkill. I mean, the hand was pretty okay. We could have even kept that stuff. I'm really looking for Philippa, I guess. I don't have eavesdrop, so that was a little bit risky, but whatever. Only round 2, doesn't matter too much. So we'll probably play this round. I mean, we want to maybe just, you know, get some money, play Sewer Raiders. I think we can probably, you know, play Siggy. I mean, it depends. We could either go for the maybe Skewer Tooth plus, you know, crimes, or we can go for the Siggy. It might be a bit awkward to play all of those unless we go all in. So I think we'll go with the boar. I think the boar here should be pretty good. We'll get it up to like a 9 maybe. Maybe even bigger. And that can be a nice proactive play for us to use. And we know, yeah, we know we're going to push because we won on even. If we didn't win on even, we'd maybe consider just going straight to round 3. Not really worrying too much about the opponent's plans. Okay, let's swindle. And then we can play Sewer Raiders and all that. Just kind of setting stuff up. If we're able to take the card, which we may be able to if they don't catch up at some point here, then we will probably do that. But otherwise we just do some setup, maybe threaten something like just play a townsfolk. If it doesn't get answered, we can go crazy. If it does, then okay, we just wait for the next one that we have in deck still. But yeah, we'll end up having to see with that. Okay, not really too much going on here. Could just dip this. It's not really the biggest value I've ever seen. But you know, I think probably a dip and then using a leader charge here is okay. We'll get the Redanian out. And then we can think about, you know, maybe playing Witch Hunter or something next turn. Or maybe Townsfolk. And we can do this combo with Slander if they play a unit that's worthy of that combo. Crown Splitter, sorry, Novigradian Justice coming out. That's really good for us. That's kind of their win con, so if they only have one of those, then we're feeling pretty good about life. Question is what now? I mean, we could just pass. We could just pass. We could also play on a little bit, play Slander, play Witch Hunter Executioner. I probably don't mind the pass here. It's a bit scary to allow them these guys, you know, and getting them immediately on the board in round 3 because then they can start killing stuff. But we have a pretty good chance to draw a Borsodi brother, so I think passing here is fine. We've actually got, you know, one of their win cons pretty much, as well as long round value in Milva. So realistically, I mean, I've played this matchup out already, and it seems to me that you win the long round even if you don't get their stuff from them. So we should be, you know, even more safe here, I suppose. Eavesdrops do allow us to kind of dig a little bit deeper, but I don't think we're going to need 2 of them. Townsfolk, okay. Not really necessary, but if we don't need it, we can throw it away with Eavesdrop. And hopefully pick up Philippa. And we'll see what we've got going on here. Definitely Uold is going to come in handy to kill these pesky dwarves. So looking like a really good kind of Slander play here. We're basically stalling a little bit, making it so that Dwarven Mercenary can't get value, and then also going to go to 9 coins, start shooting things with Uold. Machine gun, as he, you know, has always been being used as with the bounties. And then we can follow that up with our, you know, really strong combination of cards in the Townsfolk and Igor and everything. So that should be good. I mean, it might even be better to play the Executioner here. I think probably it is, because we don't care so much about it dying. You know, if they have removal, we'd rather save Borsodi for, you know, killing some of their stuff later on. Let's do this and just make sure we're not kind of at 9 coins. I mean, we could stay on 9, I suppose, to get Redanian out. That's actually worth considering. We can always use our leader to get up to that if we need to. So unfortunately for them, they can't take out the skirmish, the mercenaries or whatever they're called, with that, because it was in hand, but we would have been able to deal with it anyway, so not really the biggest deal. So let's give some bleeding, some more bleeding maybe. I think I'm fine playing a Townsfolk here, actually. We want to go down to kind of 4 gold, so then we can Eavesdrop, go to 9, spend more gold, and then maybe, you know, start Igor shenanigans or whatever. So let's go down to 4 now. Very nice. And there's no real engine threat. We have 10 hidden points in our leader right now, which is more because we have Townsfolk. They aren't even going to remove this Townsfolk as well, which is pretty damn bad for them. So that means we can kind of just... I mean, we could play Eavesdrop now. I think that's probably worth it, right? And we shouldn't be needing this extra Townsfolk. I'm a little bit afraid of getting, you know, getting wrecked here by a Sheldon or something. Okay, I mean, maybe that's a mistake, actually. Shit. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe he doesn't have anything. I mean, I assume if he didn't have a way to kill this, probably doesn't full stop. I think we're safe. It's not like he can see that I got rid of a Townsfolk, right? So, whatever, let's just combo now, and be safe, and just do everything here. I got a little bit scared there for a second, but we're totally fine. And we can get a ton of our boys out. We need to go very fast, actually. This is gonna be a little bit of a crazy one. Got a lot of coins to gain. Got a lot of money to spend. Got a lot of shopping to do. We should be winning this game pretty cleanly from this point. Unless there's something like an Igni, but even then, not necessarily the end of the world. Okay, copy and go again. Gotta go again. I don't know if we can do this last one. It's gonna be tight. Okay. Queued up all the actions. Go, Siggy. Go, Dijkstra. We gotta go fast. Come on, bro. This is always the nightmare playing this deck. You do have to really be quite decisive because of because of how crazy it is. 78 points and counting. Yeah, we're not even done yet. We have Siggy giving us 9 further coins. We'll use him now, I suppose. And we can then yoink the Ithlin if we want to. Don't need to copy these anymore. We would rather spend the money on Borsodi or Philippa or whatever it may be. We've really got the value from these guys at this point. But hopefully this shows you how crazy the deck can be. To be fair, they had a Sheldon. They could have actually played around our stuff if we, you know, probably shouldn't have played that Eavesdrop. Should have gone for a second Townsfolk. and used Eavesdrop to just get rid of,
You'll suffer
you
the
know,
consequences of
whatever.
your foolishness.
So probably misplayed this a little bit, and the opponent also didn't really stop our combo from happening when they could have, so that was a bit dumb from them, but either way, should at least show you what the deck is capable of if you don't run into removal. Pretty damn powerful. Can definitely go over a 100-point threshold, which is a lot of fun to do. Either way, hope those games were fun to watch. Hope you enjoy the deck if you decide to try it out. I think it will probably get nerfed at some point very soon, because it's a little bit broken, considering the win rate I've been having. But that being said, thank you again, guys. Do subscribe, of course, as always, for more Gwent videos, and I'll be seeing you next time.